May we consider that Buddha was a messiah for the Brahmanic religion, and did his religion have a kind of universality to it, or did it spread incidentally or accidentally to other parts of Asia?
Universality is out of question because it only spread in a certain area, not throughout the world. But there is no doubt about his being messianic in nature. There's something about his nature and his teaching which reminds you of a Messiah. Even virgin birth is attributed to him. And many other prophecies which he himself made indicate that the Messiah, the actual Messiah after his migration, was to go to the Buddhist area and was to be the Buddha of his time, to have visited Kashmir. Kashmir is not mentioned as such by name, but the Buddhist area in around 550 years after the previous Buddha. And he was called a foreigner Buddha. So there's so much intermixture of the teachings of Buddha and Messiah that the whole issue was confused later on when the Kashmiris accepted the Messiah and the Buddha both together, and they treated them as different names of the same office. Now the question arises as to what happened which caused them to become Muslims. I believe because Masih alayhi salatu wasalam, during his visit to Kashmir and stay there, had never mentioned any Trinity at all. He was speaking of his actual teachings, and because he had prophesied even before of the coming of Hazrat Musrur, so he must have spoken of that. So because people had accepted him and the previous Buddha as the religious leaders, so under their advice all of them became Muslims. This has to be the story of Buddha's and Messiah's visit to Kashmir. But those who had gone across to other countries, to them the message of this Messiah, that is the old Messiah, could not have reached, because in olden days it was not possible. Those who saw him there in Kashmir and who accepted him as a great prophet, for them to accept his message to become Muslim was understandable. But to think of the same happening in China, for instance, where Buddhism spread, is unlikely, because the connection was broken. And that branch of Buddhism got intermingled with the local version of different religions whose teaching was similar to Buddha, like teaching of Confucius, etc. So that is why they didn't become Muslims, but the Buddhists in Kashmir got converted to Islam totally. Not a sign of Buddhists was left in Kashmir.